Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Newscast of Prime Time Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. I'm called Maureen D at Top Stories. Patients with kidney failure receiving dialysis sessions at the Yaoundé General Hospital in commotion this Thursday, once again blocking the main road in front of the Yaoundé General Hospital very early today morning to express dissatisfaction with the treatment meted on them. This October 21 marks 5 years already after a train accident that claimed 79 lives, leaving 700 others wounded. And experts of the Technical Commission of the Action Group Against Money Laundering in Central Africa, CABAC, are discussing progress made in fighting against money laundering, funding of terrorism in the sub-region, their challenges and strategies, intensifying their work. And the Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Ngongo, has led a presidential delegation to Boya and Limbe to inspect infrastructures that will host the 2021 AFCON competition come January 2022. Good evening once more. Patients with kidney failure receiving dialysis at the Yaoundé General Hospital in commotion this Thursday, blocking the main road in front of the Yaoundé General Hospital very early in the morning to express dissatisfaction with the treatment methods on them. They include the dysfunctioning of machines and other equipment. As we hear the following story with Beatrice Ngamu.
We want just to lay the cries of patients with kidney failure who says the torture is too much. Without dialysis session, that is the renal replacement therapy, it is like abandoning them to the last resort. Patients are now 1 week without any. The early Thursday morning commotion, blocking circulation in front of the Yaoundé General Hospital, is to pass on the pains within. Pains of our people whose livelihood depends solely on dialysis sessions, removing excess water, solutes and toxins from the blood as their kidney can no longer perform this function naturally. Their action not new at all, because the same dysfunctional problems of machines and water rooms still there.
On nous dit les pièces vont arriver, les pièces sont arrivées, les pièces sont là, et on a coupé l'autre Kamwata, ça ne marche pas.
The rupture, hospital officials blame on frequent power and water cuts that has gripped the capital city recently. And as of today, the situation is being stabilized. Some patients are already receiving dialysis sessions.
You people should trust God and you will not die. As you are dialyzing, don't think that is the doctor that is making you to sick or the director that is making you to sick. You are sick. Then find your way with God and be strong. I am 19 years in dialysis, but I'm doing things.
Beatrice further with presentation of material.
Matériel de dialyse en quantité suffisante.
Dialysis material in quantity and quality, though it is as it arrived the hospital last month, still tightly sealed and packaged. What for? The $1 million question.
This October 2021 marks exactly 5 years already after the Zeka train accident that left over 79 people dead and over 700 wounded. The sad memories and wounds still there with its negative impacts. The only solace of the survivors is that they are still alive, and especially as government is yet to meet its promises. The details in the following story with Beatrice Ngamu.
Every 6 to 7 a.m., the film comes back before the eyes of the survivor. The sad memory is part and parcel of their lives.
5 years can pass easily and rapidly, but sad memory like that cannot pass the same way. Wounds remains, and when we think of that day, we still have a lot of pains, and this memory has lots of negative impact in our lives.
5 years later, Despite all, they give God the glory.
Many of us, are still going under treatment. Many are still looking for means for treatment. Many are still crying their relatives that they lost in this drama. It's still as if the accident happened yesterday. So nothing has changed profoundly, but we are satisfied with the life that God has given us.
Dieu, permettez-moi ma naïveté chrétienne. Je rends grâce à Dieu parce qu'il a permis que je sois encore là aujourd'hui. On ne peut que souhaiter un bon repos à leurs âmes et puis beaucoup de courage à ceux qui sont quand même vivants, mais avec des séquelles.
The dissatisfaction is there as they feel things were taken lightly, and as citizens, the government was supposed to ensure proper follow-up.
Free of charge assistance in hospitals. We still need to make sure that these measures are implemented in those hospitals. And we have families, members who can no more work and save their job because they have lost maybe their means. And now the government can come, and assist those people. There are many ways to do that.
The only major consolation, the Zik Memorial Stele project abandoned. This consolation of victims and survivors have finished. The population of the Nyon and Kele division of the Central Region is a great memory today. Worth recalling here that it was on the 21st of October 2016 that a Camrail intercity train from Yaoundé for Douala derailed at Ezeka, claiming more than 79 lives with over 550 injured.
And experts of the Technical Commission of the Action Group Against Money Laundering in Central Africa, CABAC, are currently discussing on progress made in fighting against money laundering and funding of terrorism in the sub-region, the challenges and strategies to intensify their work. They met today in Cameroon's economic city, Douala. Gladys Amodibang has the rest of that story.
At the 14th plenary session of the Technical Commission of the Action Group Against Money Laundering in Central Africa, GABAC, experts in the 7 member countries recommended that member states should bring their anti-money laundering and terrorist financing systems into compliance. They are meeting at the 15th session in Douala, Cameroon, to evaluate progress made this far in the Central African sub-region and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Cameroon is a special case fighting terrorism on 3 fronts.
Cameroon especially is facing in the far north, the northwest, southwest and east regions acts of terrorism. And terrorism is not only fought militarily. We're trying to see the ways and means that these groups use to finance their activities and design strategies to stop those sources of funding.
According to the experts, there is need for more synergy within the sub-region to attain their objectives.
We cannot fight terrorism in Cameroon if we don't put hands in deck with other countries surrounding us, because those countries can serve as base for those for terrorist actions that target Cameroon. So we try to create a sort of synergy within this region so that terrorists do not find hiding places, hideouts in any of our surrounding countries.
Cameroon's Finance Minister Louis-Paul Motaze urged the experts to cooperate with other specialized financial watchdogs in the sub-region and commended efforts in the fight against corruption, updates on measures taken against money laundering. He announced that Cameroon has put in place an interministerial committee with the mission to evaluate dangers of virtual transactions and propose regulations.
And business has resumed at the Yaoundé cattle market after the cow merchants went on strike on what they have described as harassment from unknown vigilante groups after emptying their ranches in protest. The cows were brought back following negotiations or consultations between the cow merchants and the divisional officer for Yaoundé 1. The details in the following story with our intent from Yaoundé. She's called Utmul Kusumi. A story.
After 24 hours of an empty cattle market, the cows are now back in all colors, forms and sizes, following the prompt reaction from the divisional officer for Yaoundé 1, who doubles as the president of the Yaoundé cattle market. By addressing the problem of the angry cattle sellers, they have all pulled out their cattle from their hideout.
But yesterday, it don't settle the matter. Now safe is don't bring the cow for inside the market. We want to sell cow, we not get problem. But this, you don't want another people to enter.
The delegate of the cattle market and his collaborators have expressed the need to stay serene, calling on the stakeholders and authorities to avoid interfering or causing unnecessary trouble.
We want to talk for the population, people they know the worry we for that market cow. The trader, they in it, they don't get problem. All man, they make trader get it all book. We know like problem no fine. They want to talk good thing. They know bring humbug. We were there for 32 here and 6 months. Now we there spot and delegate for Yaoundé. We do Trogo. God, they don't bless me, we don't succeed yesterday.
They strongly stand on the fact that they cannot tolerate strangers as members of the market vigilante group, as they can ensure the security of their cattle. They reiterate that from now henceforth, the cattle market is operational only from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. No selling at night, no matter the circumstance, and no Saturday market.
And members of the Southwest Regional Council have been told to speed up with project identification and execution needed by the community. The call was sounded by the representative of the state during a maiden extraordinary session of the new General Assembly. More with Ines Ondwambala.
Some projects with a collective and direct impact on the welfare of the population will soon see the light of the day in the Southwest region. The decision to implement developmental projects is one of the resolutions arrived at deliberation of the maiden extraordinary session of the Southwest Regional Assembly.
Our problem here is to bring back peace, because that's essential. There can be no development without peace. And how can we resolve the problem of peace when the children are in the bushes?
The Boya grouping was equally aimed at scrutinizing resolutions which were joined for review by the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development, amongst which the official residence of the President of the Regional Executive Council, as well as the remuneration and benefits of the entire Executive Council.
And propose to the Executive projects which they think will have an impact on a cross-section of our population. Because if we sit at the level of the Regional Executive Council and impose projects, those projects may not be as useful to the population like if those projects were proposed from the base. So I think they are working in that.
After separate consultation of different houses and committees, the Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai, representative of the state, called on the members of the Regional Council to speed up efforts in realizing socio-economic and cultural development projects which will meet up with the aspiration of the population.
I observe with satisfaction that most of you are demonstrating a sense of positive awareness of the importance of your responsibility as pioneer regional councils. You have the challenge before history of rising up to those responsibilities in order to avoid disappointing the population. I mean, the sons and daughters of this region who expect positive results.
And the Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Ngongo, has led a presidential delegation to the Buea and Limbe to inspect infrastructure that will host the 2021 AFCON, a competition come January 2022, reported by a Southwest Bureau Chief Correspondent. The Secretary General began with the condolence visit to the Bishop on behalf of the heads of the following the deaths of Class 1 people of the Catholic University Institute of Buea shot by a gendarme officer last week. From there, Minister Ferdinand Ngongo then visited hotel infrastructure and other hospitality services in Buea, then a stadia in Buea, then and the regional hospital before moving to Limbe for the same exercise. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. Thanks so much for watching. We have news in the French language at exactly 7:50. This never Senkan with Eme Kati Mukuri. But coming up next is the brief with Liu Piejou. As for me, I'll be back tomorrow for another edition of news in the English language. Good night.